Good afternoon, or good evening, because I'm not sure by the time I'm recording this what time I want to actually drop this video. But I was watching the Blueface and Jason Lee interview, and one of the things that I really wanted to know along this whole circus journey is to what really happened with Blueface and Jaden to really make him be done of it. So I think those were some good questions that was asked of Blueface. And I like that through it all, he didn't disrespect none of them. No matter how many people see it another way, no matter how many people wanted him to really shine light on a certain situation, I think he did what he felt was necessary to do, right? And again, I'm going to stand with the fact that I wasn't laying down with him. I don't know what he had going on. I don't know the truth about nothing, no paperwork, no nothing. Like, I wasn't there through none of that. We all know only what we've seen on TV. He's still standing on what he wants to stand on. And there is a legal way to rectify that if somebody's feeling the way, right? Because definitely ain't nobody going to be doing all that. And I'm going to prove it, and that's all, and that's it. And have you looking crazy. That's it. But he spoke on Jaden. And he was asked, about the post about him putting up the mid situation, right? And he was like, Jay looking good these days, whatever. And he was saying he ate it just the other. It's not funny. It's not funny, but I am laughing because for some reason, people are thinking that he's never going to continue to go back to Jade and Alexis. He's not, especially if she's really not doing nobody like that, if that makes sense. At least that kind, right? Even though she has the whole dating show and things going on. See Jaden giving some little pecks or kisses here and there. But Jaden ain't getting into bed with these guys. And so I think Blueface is always just going to have a different kind of respect for her. Again, he says still eating it, going home to, nah, I'm cool. No. It's different when they doing the other thing, but he's actually acknowledging that he still puts his mouth down there. And then all these other women get online and want to talk junk and crash out and Jaden dumb and Jaden this, but they are kissing behind Jaden's pot. Mm. Whoo-wee. I would be done. I would be pissed. He also was asked about Karlissa and the way that she behaves and the way that they feel like it's some kind of fetish in what she has with Blueface. For me, I feel like Karlissa is very protective over Blueface, especially after after Dre having to go away so young and doing all that time. And with what Dre is still dealing with mentally, allegedly, educational purposes only, I think that Karlissa is just very protective of Blueface. And I do get what Blue is saying, and I said that before in prior videos, that Karlissa do get way too involved with these women or these people that are wanting to be a part of his life, meaning these females. But here's the thing, and I'm gonna stand on that because a lot of these women, they do reach out to Karlissa because they want to be friends with his mom. You're not dating his mom, and just because you see that his mom is so protective, or you feel like she has whatever you think that you think you need to get into good grace as to being a part of Karlissa's life in order to be with Blueface. But we've seen over and over that's not true. Blue does not care who Karlissa like. Though we've seen him play over and over, there's a limit to the disrespect he's gonna allow. Yeah, that situation happened, but for the most part, we haven't seen that resurface again. We just haven't, right? And so I feel like in his own way, he is too protecting his mother so that these females don't get comfortable with thinking that they could do what somebody else did and he's gonna be cool with it. Blueface just want Karlissa to let him be a grown man. And I feel like she do need to stand down and she do need to respect that. It's okay with having neutral, how are you? How's the baby? Are you bringing the kids, the weekend, or whatever. Those kind of conversations. But to have conversations where you are wanting to or portraying to be the home girl of your son's girlfriend, I don't think that's cool because those situations never work out. Now, when it comes to Jaden, Alexis, and Karlissa, Karlissa is like her mom. If you guys haven't realized, Jaden spends more time with Karlissa than she does her own family, from what I'm seeing. Now, a lot of people are feeling, well, Jaden needs to go on because Blue is over. Well, go where? Like, she's gonna have a certain respect for the one that cares for her kids, for the one that held them down when Blue was gone and she needed to go make money. They was with their grandmother. Absolutely. So I do feel like there is some plus when it comes to Karlissa. Again, I do feel like Karlissa needs to handle those other ones a certain kind of way. But when it comes to Karlissa and Jaden, they just have a bond that can't be broken. Again, she basically helped raise Jaden. So there is a different kind of love. And so these other women and Karlissa will never get along because they are not going to be acceptable to the fact that why is she always over there? Why are you always loving on her? Why can't we? Well, because that's like her child. Even Blueface said in the interview, he was like, we've been friends forever. She's like my best friend. She's like my sister, whatever. And I know that sounds cringy and crazy because they do have the two kids. But the truth of the matter was before any of the fame, like he said, any of the children, there was a him and Jaden and Alexis. Friends first, and then the rest. So anybody who thinks that Blueface is going to ever not have a certain kind of love for Jaden, I don't know what to tell him. He says that they do their parenting thing. Even Jason stated that, listen, I like that he take care of his kids. And he listen, even Jaden said, listen, I don't want. She said, yeah, he do this, that with them. She said, but when I call and I say, blue, listen, pink face, her school, blah, 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 blah. He sends that. As he should. How many people got baby fathers or even men that they still dealing with, don't help with the kids, they ain't never help with the kids, lying, hiding money, doing the most, all over the place, making people think they got it going on when they real seeds are struggling. So yeah, it is different. I like the fact that he didn't go on and on. Again, I was hoping that, he didn't just target a certain mark and keep it going, and he didn't. So I thought that was cool. The other thing was this. He did expose Jaden Alexis, y'all. He did expose Jaden. And when he originally proposed to Jaden, everybody was saying, well, he did that to piss the other one off, and he just wanted to piss her off. Or, even at one point she said, he was just trying to piss me off and blah, blah, blah. He's admitted himself that he's wanted lots of kids, but he never wanted a lot of baby mothers. He's always stated that. He still says that. And so he says that Jaden said that the only way she would ever have another baby from him if she was his wife. And I think that was fair of her to state that, yes, at this point, I have principles and morals. Like, we know, like, I deserve to be. And I don't think she's wrong for feeling that way. So Blue says no matter how anybody feel about it, the reason why that proposal actually took place is because Jaden, Jaden was expecting. I don't think Blue should have did that. I didn't like that he said that. I didn't like that but he didn't say it nastily. He just said he was disappointed because he had kept up his end about following through as, willing to be a husband, right? In order to just not have children all over the place or whatever the case. And he says no matter what anybody think, that's how that other situation happened. He proposed to her. She was impregnated, and then she decided to abort the mission. And he was hurt behind that. Even though we do believe that it's the woman's choice to decide, I feel like if you guys had a conversation and so forth and so on, I mean, but then if you look at it, because God see before us, Blue ended up going away. Jaden would have been stuck with 3 kids trying to figure things out. You know, not saying that she did right, she did wrong, but just maybe that wasn't the time. And so Blue was upset, and he feel like Jay dropped her into the ball or whatever the case, and that's all, and that's it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about that whole Blueface interview. Did the questions answer a lot of what you guys was wanting to know? And again, I know a lot of people wanted him to really go in on a certain situation. I'm glad he didn't. I just feel like at this point, as the little person age more and more, it is very important. What is put out on this internet, right? Anyway, y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, love on those that love on you, and pray for the world. Peace.